Hello all, welcome to TipTop C Sharp tutorial series. Today we'll be looking at most basic collection type, that is arrays. Arrays are supported in most of the languages from procedural languages such as C to modern object-oriented languages. Now we'll try to understand arrays from C Sharp.NET perspective. If we look at arrays as a collection, there are three different types. One is single dimensional array, another one is multi-dimensional array, and the last one is jagged array, which is used rarely. Let's try to understand each one in detail. Single dimensional array. Be it any kind of array, the size of the array should be given or set at the time of initialization. So as you see here in the first line, my first array, here we are defining an array of integer of size 5. All the values within this array are assigned default value, that is 0. If you see it second array, that is of type string, and here you can see that we are having 3 elements within an array, and each element, as soon as we initialize, the default value will be assigned to it. If you look at third way of declaring and initializing, where we are declaring an array and we are initializing it with default, not default values, but a specified value. You can see here the first element of the array will be TipTop C Sharp, and the second element will be tutorials. We can, the array is of static size. So if we want to change size, we need to redeclare array. We need to copy the old elements into new elements. Like you can see it here, my third array, new string, and we are copying the old values as well, and we are adding new items as well. To access any array, we need to use index. That is, if you see at the last line, you can see that I'm using index 2 to define an array. Moving on, whenever we define an array and we initialize with default values, the memory will be allocated in heap as shown in the diagram 1. You can see all the values are initialized with 0, and on top you can see the index. Yeah. So if we are declaring an array of size 10, then the starting index will be 0 and the last index will be length minus 1. That is 10 minus 1, 9. So indexing, we have to remember that the indexing will start from 0. All the values will be assigned to default values. If it is integer, then 0. If it is string, then it will be null. If it is any reference types, then it will be again null. So if we assign some value, as you can see here, I am assigning my first array and I am passing index as 6 and I am assigning the value as 10. Now I can see in heap that only the sixth index value is updated as 10. This is how we can access and also update elements in a single dimensional array. Moving on. Multi-dimensional array. The next one is multi-dimensional array, which can also be referred as matrix, where usually a 2 or 3 dimensional array are very frequently used in any kind of languages. The number of column cannot change from one row to another row if it is multi-dimensional array. The row size and column size are separated by comma. You can see it here. I am defining an integer array of 2 dimensional where I am specifying size as 5, 5. So the third point tells that element should be accessed as my third. So it also should be accessed 1, 2. So row, column. As you can see here, the array can be declared and initialized as below. Either we can define it like this, where we use flower braces and we specify the first row, second row, and third row. the row and column number can be different. Coincidentally, here I am using everything of where row and column size is same. Moving on to jagged arrays. Jagged arrays are a special kind of array. If you are from C or C++ background, if you look at how we declare and initialize array, or if we how we declare or initialize matrix or two-dimensional array is in same way, where we provide two curly braces next to each other. But here in C Sharp, these are called as jagged arrays. If you look at two-dimensional or matrix or multi-dimensional arrays, where we expect each row should have same number of columns. Here, jagged arrays can have different number of columns for each rows. Let's see how to declare it. As you can see, my first jagged array is equals to new int 5. Yeah. So here I am telling that my array will have 5 rows, but I'm not telling how many columns it will have. The columns may vary or columns may have 0 numbers as well. So as you can see it here, we are accessing as my first jagged array. First row can have 5 columns or 5 elements. Second column can have sixth element, and my first jagged array third can have seventh element. So it can vary. So this is what is difference between jagged array and an multidimensional array. In multidimensional array or two-dimensional array, we expect each row should have same number of columns. It's like a matrix. But here the column number may vary, increase or decrease. And to access each element in multidimensional array or two-dimensional array, we can use comma separated indexes. Here each index has to be given in an curly braces. Yeah. Moving on to what are advantages and disadvantages of arrays. Arrays are easy to understand, easy to access, and which this is one of the basic collection type supported in all, I can say, or most of the languages that I have worked. What are advantages from language perspective? Array is a type safe. What exactly is type safe is? If you declare an integer array, you cannot insert a string into it. Yeah. And the second advantage is fast runtime. Runtime it will be faster because memory is allocated for each element at the time of creation. So it's heavier at the load time, but at runtime accessing or assigning an value will be very much easier. As you can see, the third point, faster access of the element. If you give index directly, the accessing algorithm complexity will be big O of 1. There are some disadvantages of arrays. One of the disadvantage is this is a static collection. Means once you declare a size, you cannot increase size, or at the beginning itself you may end up defining an array of higher size. So sometimes this makes sure that the memory is allocated for all the elements, but you may not end up using all the elements. And the second disadvantage is as the size is static, you cannot increase the size dynamically. If you want to increase size, you need to define an array of higher size and copy all the old elements into the new elements and then start accessing the new element. This is an overhead if we want to increase the size. If you know the exact size, then array is the best way of going for any of the collection. Thank you. That's it for arrays from Tip Top C# tutorials. Let us know if you have any question in comment section.